Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. News on the news, another message to preach and teach. All right, and this is going to be some insights from David Banner, a hip hop artist. And many of y'all know who he is. That's explaining to some people who did not know that he was a hip hop artist, right? And there's some important things that I want you to understand. And he did an interview with Vlad TV. I'll put the link to the entire interview um, in the description box, okay? But I want y'all to hear what he has to say about just the so-called Afro culture in the United States. All right, and you're going to, well, you won't hear it, but if you go to the interview, you'll look at James Avery, the father from Good Times. All right, but this is a guy that is making a 180, not a 360. 360 is to turn all the way around to where you started from, but he's making a 180, right? He realized, well, we'll show you what he realized. All right, and this is why I'm making this. David Banner holds self accountable and wants to change the current culture of Afro peoples. But does he understand that the number one problem with the culture of the Afro people is the Black American woman? Does he understand that? So before we get into that, let me greet everybody real quick. Habortan Hardugu dog, Ola oi to the bang, Fasas Los Bonjavis me, Kedu Bawani Konichiwa, Ni hao ni ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Habarigani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. Alright, so let's get into this real quick. Alright, just to remind you before we get started, let's get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the bell. When you click the bell, click all. To donate to my channel, my PayPal me link will be in the description box. Y'all know we are gearing up. We're preparing to go back over. The children are being moved, but it's sacrificing money. And we need to, y'all, come on. We need to get some more support. And we know that, and y'all know I wouldn't be asking like this if it wasn't important, but we need to get some more support for this channel. We'll support everybody else's crap, but the actual people that are out there trying to actually do things in the community, and that's doing it with every iota and penny of resources that they get. I can't understand why it is that the so-called Afro people don't support them. But this goes to what David Banner was basically talking about, how sick we are as a culture and community. But I'm just arguing we're just downright not sick. We are destroyed. So that's why I'm looking to just the brothers. If it's just a few of us, then I'll work with that. All right. This is a heavy load for me to carry if I have to do it by myself. But I know I can get the help from a few of us. Get help from a few of y'all. So my PayPal me link will be in the description box, and just don't forget about me if you come into something. But remember, like always, take care of yourself first, because if you can't take care of yourself, how can you help somebody else do for the community? Right? So you get your stuff straight first, and from out of your abundance, help a brother out. All right? Help me help others. All right? Help this channel do what it do and help others. All right. So let's break it down. So David Banner, an awakening has happened. An awakening has happened. And I want you to understand some key things as we go through this clip from Vlad TV of David Banner with him talking. All right. And I want you to get some understanding. All right. So I started from this point. I mean, you have to go and hear the whole thing. But I started from this point because he said some significant things. And we'll get to things that we're not going to get from the modern day black woman. I don't know why we're trying to unite with her. She is gone. She values um, whatever's evil, and she values the Caucasian. Period. That's her lust for right now. And she doesn't care who she destroys. But I'm going to let him break some stuff down.
It this way, and those people who are truly in power, they know what they did to black folks. And I'll tell you this, I'll ask you a question, brother. If you erase the, all right, now first of all, would you agree that the human brain, or that the computer, the hard drive from a computer was based off the human brain?
Yeah, probably.
Would you agree with that? Well, okay.
I would agree.
We agree. Okay. So, if a person deleted the hard drive of a computer, right, and uploaded a virus, when the computer started acting crazy, would you blame the computer or the computer programmer?
Computer programmer.
Exactly. But the fact that America is in power and white people are in power, they don't have to be held responsible for what they've done. Because they own everything. Everything on this fucking earth.
Now, this is why I keep saying there is rights and privilege. Caucasians are not fighting for rights. They're fighting to maintain privilege. Black women are not fighting for rights. They're fighting to obtain privilege. Understand, the Caucasians are fighting to maintain privilege over everyone else. And the black woman is fighting to be with the Caucasian man. And she's fighting to obtain privilege. And both of the people that I mentioned that are in this fight against the Afro men are wanting to either obtain privilege or maintain privilege at the expense of the good, decent Afro man. The strong Afro man, they are trying to eliminate. The Afro man that wakes up, they are trying to eliminate. But some of us are starting to see, and our eyes are starting to be opened. All right. I wonder how far his eyes have been opened. Let's continue.
We can't even go back to Africa. They didn't colonize Africa. Where can you go where you can escape white supremacy? You can't. It's not possible.
Wake up call for all you people. Let's go to Africa. Remember, I kept saying I want South America, not because I'm trying to escape white supremacy, because he's right. You cannot. But if we unite with women that actually care about the leadership of the Afro men, we could create a community that can fight for a space for good Afro people to carve out. Period. I would rather die than be a white man's slave or a black woman's slave. But this is what they're both fighting for. The black woman and feminism are fighting to keep us enslaved mentally and spiritually. Only she wants us enslaved to her as she gives up herself to the Caucasian man. Had a discussion with this one lady, and you can't talk to them. Once they say they're a feminist, and then she asked me, so why are you telling me, if you don't talk to white black women, why are you talking to me? And that's it. That's a good question. Because once she identifies herself as a feminist, I will no longer talk to her. Because I realized that she H8'd me. You understand? There is no place on earth we could go to escape the wickedness of the Caucasian man. But what we can do is build pockets and centers of spiritual awakening. All right? We could wake up and build these centers, understanding that we will be assaulted by the simp, that the so-called black hotep men, the so-called black religious Christian men, oh, and even those camps, they are just as much as simps, just on a whole nother level. They practice the same Christianity. All they did was painted the Bible black. Not Negro, not Afrocentric, not indigenous. They painted it the same color that the white people gave them. All right, we cannot escape this. However, we could be blessed in the midst of it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right. Oh, Abednego. Sorry. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Abednego. All right. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Because I'm finna go. No, let me quit. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right. What happened was they were, if we take the fiery furnace literal, all right, they survived the midst of it. All right. They prospered in a land where the people took prisoner the Israelites, the Hebrews. All right, they prospered, whereas many of the Hebrews that bowed down to the idol did not. We need to separate ourselves from the wicked Afro people. Let them maintain their quote-unquote blackness. All right, and we need to separate from these women. And we have to find some somewhere else. And we're talking about the African women too. Because the first thing they do is they get over here and they identify as feminists. So we do need to separate from a lot. But he makes a point. All right, everybody's trying to run away from something. I was never trying to run away from white supremacy. I understood it's everywhere. It's in Brazil. Y'all hear me talk about it. It's in Brazil. I'm trying to escape the black woman. The black American woman. See, because here's the thing. If we have women we could build with, we could carve out a niche and be the people that the Most High want us to be. We can't be that with the black woman because she loves and desires evil. The black woman in the United States. She could tell who's a good man and who's not. She intentionally picks the evil men, and then she don't want to be held accountable for her actions. All right, I want y'all to understand this. Now, let's hear this brother out some more.
So the thing is, that's why it's so important for our hip hop sites and our hip hop blogs, and not just our hip hop artists. If you look at most hip hop blogs and most things that deal with hip hop, they are now used to crush the hip hop artists. I don't fucking get it. It doesn't build hip hop music. It doesn't build the artist. It's used to literally show every derogatory thing about their lives. And it's crazy, dude. Even Who Sampled. Who Sampled is the feds for hip hop producers. That's where all of the sample folks go to. They don't even have to go look for artists no more. They just go on Who Sampled. Dude, we don't even notice this, dude. We're sending our children to fucking hell. And people act like they don't see it. And as long as their family is eating off of it, they don't care about the deterioration of our culture, brother.
Deteriorating our culture. And currently, who claims that they are the so-called backbone of our culture? It's the black woman. One of the things you'll hear him mention in an interview, if y'all go listen to it, is that most of the guys are thinking like the black woman. All right, think about that. Think about it. Now, the black woman won't take accountability, but look at what happens when Afro men wake up. Now, I want y'all to check this out real quick and pay attention to this closely. All right, very closely. And understand this.
You know, and the reason why I'm able to talk about it, because I was one of the main people who were doing it.
He said he was one of the main people that was doing it. Wait a minute, he's not done yet.
That's why I had to stop. I wasn't looking at me. I wasn't blaming you. I wasn't blaming any other artist. I was blaming me. It was my fault. So I had to change me, brother. And I'm going to help, if it's the last thing I do, change our fucking culture.
If it's the last thing he does, he's going to help to change our culture. All right. Now, this is where most of the guys miss it. They miss the point. Because they don't understand that our culture in and of itself consists of a couple of things. An intact family, children to pass stuff down. The family then joins with other families and builds a community. All right. The community groups together as a bunch of communities and build a nation. A nation is a group of people with similar habits, culture, spirituality, similar, not exactly the same. How do you build with a woman that is as wretched as the current state of the black woman? You can't. The first thing we need to do is go find women that can build with us. So we have to leave this culture alone and build a new culture from the ground up. The Caucasians utterly destroyed this with the help of the black woman. Had she not sided with the Caucasian men, we would have had a strong culture led by men. But remember, feminism don't care about logic or anything else. They only care about the destruction of men and children. Literally. This is why the black woman not being accountable is why. And my final thoughts, it's time to make the vinyl thoughts, the BAW, accountable. All right? We got to hold them accountable. And one of the things is, the first thing we do, we leave them alone. We don't help them anymore. We don't associate with them anymore. We don't talk to them anymore. Once we understand that they're feminists and they stand for that ideology, then they have nothing to do with a man. We should understand at that point that they mean our destruction. And that was my wake-up call for somebody from one of my classes. That I was like, oh, study partner. I might be able to kick out the language and everything. But this black African identified as a BAW feminist. And I was like, oh, so you hate men. And she can't say she don't, because she thought that giving weed to children was a good thing when I told her about this video. And I was like, okay, that was the first strike, but the feminist thing, oh, that's a fly out. She's just out. Period. This is how we hold them accountable. And we need to go build somewhere else. I need to unite with maybe the Hispanic women in my class, the Hispanic men, and create a study group that way. But I don't need her. There's another brother in the class, but I don't need her. Period, because she's a feminist. No good studying with her. She don't want to hear nothing anyway. I wonder how you study with somebody that don't want to hear other ideas. You can't. Period. So we need to leave them alone. Let them hit the wall by themselves. The wall of everything. With that said, I'm out.